All right, let's get right into this one, because what we're looking at here is really a tale of two different matches, all played on the same night. For about 74 minutes, we were watching an absolute Champions League classic. PSG and Chelsea, two massive clubs, just trading punches in Paris. But then, in those last 20 minutes, something just completely snapped. A nail-biting thriller turned into an absolute demolition.
And that's the big question, isn't it? How does a game that is hanging on a total knife's edge, a fight this evenly matched, just completely and utterly fall apart for one team? What was that one moment that tipped the scales so dramatically?
You know, for most of this match, it was anybody's game. Chelsea did not come to Paris to park the bus. No way. They went right at the champions, they played a high line, pushed forward, they were determined to take control. And the result? It was this spectacular end-to-end battle.
And the rhythm of the game was just pure punch-counterpunch. PSG lands the first big shot. Bradley Barcola just smashes one in off the crossbar. But Chelsea, they showed some real guts, they didn't fold. Malo Gusto drills one in to make it 1-1. Then, right before the half, you're thinking PSG has stolen all the momentum with a bit of solo magic from Ousmane Dembélé, but nope, Chelsea refuses to back down. They come out firing in the second half, and Enzo Fernández rifles one into the top corner. So twice, PSG took the lead, and twice, Chelsea clawed their way right back. It was just relentless.
Okay, so let's just pause right here. Picture this. 74 minutes on the clock. It's 2-2 at the Parc des Princes. The crowd is going absolutely wild. The whole tie is just perfectly, tantalizingly poised. You just get the feeling that the next goal, no matter who scores it, is going to be the one that decides everything.
And in a game this tight, you just know it's probably going to come down to a single moment. I mean, this is the Champions League. The margins are razor thin, and when you're up against the best teams on the planet, one tiny lapse in concentration, one little mistake, can completely unravel all the hard work you've put in.
ESPN's report on the game called it an awful misjudgment, and honestly, that's putting it mildly. This right here was the pivot point, the single action where the entire contest just swung away from Chelsea for good.
And it all happens in a heartbeat. It starts with one decision. Chelsea's keeper, Filip Jørgensen, he tries to play a short, clever pass out from his own box. But in this kind of pressure cooker, that is a huge risk. The pass is just a bit weak, a little too easy to read. Bradley Barcola is on it in a flash, he just pounces, and from there, PSG is absolutely clinical. No panic, just a simple square ball, and Vitinha is there to deliver the killer blow, a calm little chip over the keeper who's caught in no man's land. In the blink of an eye, it goes from 2-2 and anybody's game to 3-2, and Chelsea are just reeling, all from one single mistake.
And that goal, it did more than just put PSG ahead. It felt like it broke Chelsea's spirit. See, at this level, under that kind of pressure, one mistake can trigger a total mental collapse. Suddenly, your belief evaporates, your legs feel heavier, and PSG, well, they smelled blood in the water. They saw a team that was stunned and wobbling, and like true champions, they went straight in for the kill. 3 goals. In the final 20 minutes of the match, I mean, that's the whole story of the collapse right there, isn't it? All captured in one single, brutal number. The floodgates didn't just open. They were blown clean off their hinges.
And with Chelsea on the ropes, PSG brought on a finisher to land the final blows, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. He comes on as a sub and just completely takes over. First, he scores what was described as a sensational goal, a beautiful, curled shot from the edge of the box that just bends away from the keeper's dive. That's the moment the win is sealed. But he wasn't finished. Deep into stoppage time with Chelsea's defense just all over the place, he's in the right spot for an easy tap-in to make it 5. It was ruthless, it was clinical, and as the report said, it was PSG simply twisting the knife.
So when that final whistle finally blew, the contrast was just staggering. For PSG, it's this feeling of total control, like they have one foot firmly planted in the next round. And for Chelsea, just utter shock. They went from being equals in a slugfest to being flat on the canvas, wondering what in the world just hit them.
And this really tells the whole story, doesn't it? On one side, you have the game before that critical mistake, a 2-2 thriller, a totally balanced tie. And on the other side, the final result, a 5-2 blowout, with PSG in complete command. One mistake, and the entire narrative of this huge Champions League night changed forever. Which leaves us all with the big question as we look ahead to the second leg. Can a team really recover mentally from a collapse like that? Or was that brutal 20-minute surge from PSG the moment that definitively sealed Chelsea's fate in the Champions League this year? It sure looks like a mountain to climb now.